Hello, welcome. Marlene here for today's cookie project. I'm making a unicorn snowflake. Yeah, you heard me right. Now on to the step-by-step tutorial. Here is my tray of cookies and I'm just working on the cookie sheet just for the overspray. And all I'm doing is I'm hitting all around the perimeter of my snowflakes here. And this is electric purple. And I'm just running a line of color all around the edge of my cookies. Okay. And now I'm just taking some blue. Now that I've got my purple on, I'm just now going to hit right inside of that with some blue, a light misting, right like that, right just after the color. You don't want to cover your purple, it's just fading into the purple's fading into the blue, you see? And that's it for this step. There we go. And now I've got some high proof alcohol in a little pump brush. And I'm just going to, and I'm gonna adjust the lighting. Okay, see if you can see this. I'm going to hit my cookies now with, this is high proof alcohol, and we're gonna see them kind of transform. And there. You can see it gives it a much more kind of watercolor look. So I'm gonna let this dry so that I can come in and put my guidelines on for the next step. I just wanted to show you the difference. So these have a blue perimeter and these have a purple perimeter. You can see the slight difference. I've got some Roxy satin white kind of glitter, and I'm just lightly dusting my snowflakes. It's supposed to be unicorn theme, so I want it to be somewhat shiny. And I'm just dusting with a big fluffy brush, I'm just kind of wiping off the excess and spreading my glitter on. And that's it. Here's my cookie, and I want to get my guidelines on for the heads. But I couldn't get the stencil like for all 6 points at once. It just didn't line up because it's, if you look at it, it's not perfect. It's cookie. And so I made the little head thing, and I don't know if you can see there's 3 different sizes. And I'm just laying it on like that, and then I'm just airbrushing and turning the cookie every time. I know it's a bit finicky, but it's the only way that I could get it to fit properly so that everything would kind of like line up. So I'm getting the horn right to the end there, and then just a light, I'm working in a gray, and of course it's not coming out. All right, let's position that again. So I'm just using one finger to hold it in place, and then a light misting right there, and I get my head shape. And I'm skipping this one so that I don't get the plastic on top of my wet airbrush. Just like that, skip one. So I'm doing 3, and then I'm moving on to another cookie, and it gives these 3 areas time to dry so that I can do the other 3 areas. So you just run through your cookies. It's a bit finicky, but if you need guidelines, this is kind of the safest way to get them on so that they line up on this snowflake. And as you can see, thanks to my little guidelines there, it's going to make this whole process a lot easier. And I'm starting right here. I'm just outlining the gray area and then just filling that in. I'm doing 2 at a time. There. And then I'm just fiddling a bit to get it to heal and get the perimeter to blend into the whole rest of the head. And in that wet icing, kind of to the side like here, I'm putting in some black pearls for the eyes. I like the pearls because they kind of go into the icing And so, look here, I'm gonna push it in like that to the side, you see? And it just looks better than piping a dot on top of the icing, in my opinion. And it gives the icing like, it kind of like goes in, gives an indentation around the eye. I just like the way that it sits. And now we just do 2 more. You have to work all the way around your snowflake. It's not complicated, it's just a little bit tedious. But once you get going, it's pretty simple. These are not particularly difficult cookies, but I think they're going to be effective. All right, fill that up. I don't want them in the middle of the face. A horse's eyes are on the sides. That's why I'm kind of like pushing them on the side of the head like that. And now I've got some gold colored icing in a stiff consistency. I have a small tip of 2. And right here I'm doing a circular motion, connecting at the head, pulling out and making the unicorn's horn. Connect and just a circular motion, filling in that little point to create the horn. There. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna let this dry. And now I'm taking my airbrush. I've got some very diluted pink in there, and I just want to blush the end of his nose in pink. Just a little touch of pink on the end there. When we see unicorns, they have like a pinkish end of the nose. Just a little detail. And I'm starting on the not unicorn area just to start the gun, and then I'm moving to the... And that's it. Super fast, just a light touch. Now I'm adding my ears. I was gonna do a leaf tip, but I'm worried about them breaking. So I'm just connecting to the head and then pulling out, creating like a tear shape. Like that. That one looks a bit weird. So that's the great thing about the snowflake shape here. It has this little area for the ear area. See the little kind of points? Perfect for the ears. It's like it was made to be a unicorn snowflake. And now I'm finding the somewhat middle, let's say it's here, and I'm taking it to the end of his nose and then a swirl. Starting at the same spot, a swirl, and you just work your way around. And you can see that nice kind of watercolor is the perfect backdrop for all this. And then I'm doing the same thing the other way. A big dot, a little dot. Okay, and then to that I'm sticking a smaller snowflake. And then we're decorating that one. And there's no right or wrong. Snowflakes are whatever you see. So here, because we have 3 lines intersecting, it gets very fat. And the best way to fix that is to just squish a sprinkle in there. And then I'm just doing loops here on the corners. There's one more step after that, but this is almost done. And there it is. Last bit, probably 10 minutes per cookie, everything. Starting here at this side, pulling down, tucking just above the ear, and hiding that seam where it meets the head. And then on this side, coming across the head, like making like a bang, if you will, hiding the seam of the horn and pulling it across, giving it some movement. The marbled icing also adds to it, I find. And that's it. And here are the completed cookies. I'd love to hear what you think. The cookies are headed to my children's school. They're doing a fundraiser this weekend. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads, and I'll see you next time.